Welcome back to the deep dive. I always look forward to these explorations, and today we're taking a journey back in time, way back.
Back to a time before European contact.
Exactly. We're diving into the world of pre-colonial Native Americans.
I am excited to really get into
Me
this.
too. And we have so much information to uncover, so much to learn.
It's going to be fascinating to see how these diverse societies thrived across the continent for centuries, really painting a vivid picture of what life was like.
And one of the most important things to remember right from the start is this. There wasn't one single Native American culture, was there?
Not at all. It was a tapestry of unique tribal traditions, each adapting to the specific environment they called home.
That's right. Our sources really emphasize that point, and it's key to appreciating their ingenuity and resourcefulness. So today, we're on a mission to pull out the most significant insights into their existence, focusing on that deep connection with nature.
And how they built and organized their unique societies.
Okay, let's jump right in. Where do you think we should start?
Well, how people sustain themselves is always a good place to begin. After all, their entire way of life, their very survival, was directly tied to the resources they could access, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It all comes down to that, really. So when we're talking about food, agriculture played a massive role for many, didn't it?
It did. And one striking example that stands out is the Three Sisters method.
Oh, yes. Corn, beans, and squash. It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is. And tribes in the Northeast and Southeast, like the Cherokee, were masters of this technique. But it wasn't just about planting. It was about understanding those complex relationships between plants.
So it was a truly interconnected system.
Exactly. The corn, you see, provided a natural support for the beans to climb.
Right.
And the beans, in turn, actually enriched the soil with nitrogen, benefiting both the corn and the squash.
That's so clever.
And then you have the squash, with its big leaves, shading the ground, keeping those pesky weeds down and holding moisture in. It wasn't just luck. This was a sophisticated understanding of how plants work together, making their agriculture both sustainable and incredibly productive over generations.
It's a testament to their deep knowledge of ecology, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that knowledge really shines through when you look at different tribes and their approaches. Like, think about those tribes on the Great Plains, the Sioux, for example. They had an entirely different lifestyle.
Yeah, their world revolved around the buffalo, didn't it?
Completely. It was more than just food for them. They used every single part of the animal, from the meat for sustenance to the hides for clothing and shelter, and the bones for tools. It speaks volumes about their resourcefulness.
And their respect for the animal, they understood its importance to their very survival.
Precisely. Their nomadic movements were actually dictated by the buffalo herds, showing a profound understanding of both animal behavior and the rhythms of nature. It wasn't just practicality, it was a spiritual connection, wouldn't you say?
A deep understanding of their place within the natural world. It's incredible.
It is. And if we shift our focus to the coasts, we see yet another fascinating adaptation to a different environment. The Pacific Northwest tribes, for instance, they were exceptional fishers.
Oh, yes. They were the masters of the salmon run, weren't they?
Their lives were completely interwoven with the rivers and the ocean, their fishing techniques, their knowledge of the salmon's life cycle. It was all incredibly sophisticated.
And it wasn't just about food either, was it?
No, it was a part of their cultural and spiritual practices, woven into ceremonies and mythology. It was central to their identity.
And across many regions, gathering wild foods like berries, nuts, and roots also played a significant role in their diets.
It did. It's another testament to their intimate knowledge of local flora and their ability to sustainably utilize those resources.
So with all these diverse ways of finding food, it makes sense that we see a wide variety of housing styles too, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Think back to those nomadic plains tribes we talked about. Their tipis, crafted from buffalo hides, were a brilliant solution. Lightweight for easy transport, but durable enough to withstand the elements.
Yeah, perfect for life on the move, following the buffalo herd.
Exactly. It really highlights how their shelters were directly influenced by their primary resource.
And then in stark contrast, you have the Southwest tribes, like the Navajo and Hopi.
With their incredible pueblos.
Those multi-story structures made of mud and stone. Talk about adapting to a harsh, arid environment.
It's amazing, isn't it? Those thick walls provided cool interiors during the scorching days and warmth during those cold desert nights, and many served as communal dwellings, housing entire families, even multiple generations.
It's a testament to their architectural skills and their understanding of the climate.
And if we think about it, The permanence of those pueblos reflects a more settled lifestyle, often centered around agriculture.
Right, a stark contrast to the mobility of the Plains tribes. And then there's another type of communal housing that fascinates me. The longhouses of the Northeast Iroquois.
Oh, yes. These were massive structures made of wood and bark, housing sometimes 20 or 30 people from multiple families.
It speaks to their social structure, doesn't it? That strong sense of kinship and collective living.
Absolutely. The longhouse was a central hub of their social and political life. It wasn't just a place to sleep, it was where they gathered, shared stories, made decisions.
And our sources also mention wigwams, those dome-shaped structures covered with bark or mats.
Another example of using readily available materials to create practical and adaptable housing.
It's incredible how the environment shaped their daily lives in such profound ways, isn't it?
It really is. And that connection with the environment goes beyond just the physical aspects of life. Their spiritual beliefs were deeply intertwined with their understanding of nature as well.
Yes, it's like nature wasn't just a backdrop for them, it was a central part of their spirituality.
Exactly. Many tribes believed in spirits inhabiting natural elements. The sun, the moon, the earth, rivers, animals, everything. It was very personal, intimate relationship with the living world.
And it's important to note, too, that while that connection to nature was widespread, the specifics of their beliefs varied widely from tribe to tribe.
Oh, absolutely. Each tribe had its own distinct set of deities, its own unique mythology, its own spiritual landscape.
And these beliefs were expressed through various rituals, right? Dances, songs, storytelling.
Yes, and those traditions have continued to this day. The powwow, for example, is still a vital cultural and spiritual gathering for many Native American communities.
It's a powerful testament to the enduring strength of those traditions, isn't it? And it highlights how important these cultural practices are for maintaining their identity and sense of community.
It is. And speaking of important figures within these societies, we can't forget the shamans.
Right, the spiritual leaders, healers, guides.
They served as a crucial link between the physical and spiritual realms, their knowledge of both highly valued.
And then there's the concept of totems. Those carved wooden poles with animal figures. They're so striking, aren't they?
They are, and they hold deep cultural and spiritual meaning, often representing ancestors or guardian spirits.
So they weren't just decorations.
No, they were embodiments of a clan's history, their identity, their spiritual affiliations, visual reminders of their connection to both the natural and ancestral worlds.
When we look at the broader structure of these societies, something that really jumps out is the emphasis on family and community.
Yes, that sense of shared responsibility, of communal sharing of resources.
Yeah.
It was often a fundamental aspect of their social organization. It wasn't about individualism, it was about collective well-being.
And one aspect I find particularly interesting is the presence of matriarchal systems in some communities, like the Iroquois.
Yes, in those societies, women held significant status, often serving as heads of families and having control over land and property.
It's a very different structure from the patriarchal systems that became dominant later on, isn't it?
It is, and it highlights the diversity in their social structures. While not all tribes were matriarchal, the prominent roles of women in some societies challenges our assumptions about gender roles in early societies.
It offers a different perspective, a different way of organizing society.
Exactly. And then within those societies, you had various forms of leadership, from chiefs to elders' councils, with each tribe developing its own unique system of governance.
The Iroquois League, with its complex democratic structure involving multiple nations, is a great example of that, isn't it?
It is. It shows just how sophisticated their political organization could be.
So it's clear these weren't simple societies at all. They had intricate social and political frameworks. And of course, all of that was reflected in their arts and crafts as well.
Absolutely. Their clothing, often made from materials like buffalo and deer hides, wasn't just practical. It was often beautifully decorated, serving as a powerful form of cultural expression.
And some tribes, particularly in warmer regions, even mastered the art of weaving.
Yes, they were incredibly skilled at utilizing the resources available to them. And speaking of skilled craftsmanship, the beadwork is another aspect that really stands out, doesn't it?
It's incredible, those intricate designs created with colorful beads on jewelry and clothing. It must have taken so much patience and artistry.
It did. And those designs weren't just decorative. They often carried symbolic meaning. Different colors and patterns representing specific stories, tribal affiliations, beliefs.
And pottery was another prevalent art form, especially among the agricultural tribes.
Yes, both practical and beautiful. The level of skill they achieved is truly impressive. And we can't forget the painting and carving. Those depictions of animals and symbols on rocks, caves, wood, they give us a glimpse into their inner world, don't they?
They do. They weren't just decorations, they were forms of communication, storytelling, spiritual expression.
They were a way to record history, to transmit knowledge, to express their understanding of the cosmos.
And given the absence of widespread written language, those traditions, those stories passed down through generations, were absolutely vital for preserving their knowledge and culture.
They were. Elders held the accumulated wisdom of their communities, the history, the ethics, the knowledge of the natural world. They were the living libraries.
It makes you realize the true power of oral tradition, doesn't it?
It does. And it wasn't all serious either. Games, like lacrosse, which we know originated among Native American tribes, played an important role in their culture as well.
That's right. It wasn't just recreation. It was a form of physical training and sometimes even a way to resolve conflicts.
Many of their games held deep cultural and spiritual significance, often connected to ceremonies and social gatherings.
And speaking of gatherings, festivals were another important way to celebrate, weren't they?
They were. They marked important events like harvests, successful hunts, the changing of the seasons. It was a way to strengthen community bonds and express gratitude for the blessings of nature.
And throughout all of this, there's a consistent thread running through it all, isn't there? This profound respect for the natural world.
Absolutely. It's more than just utilizing the environment. It's about living sustainably, harmoniously.
The principle of taking only what's needed, avoiding waste, that was deeply ingrained in their way of life.
Think about the buffalo again. Utilizing every part of the animal wasn't just efficient. It was a demonstration of respect and understanding of interconnectedness.
And that sustainable lifestyle extended to how they interacted with the land as well. They didn't clear-cut forests or degrade the land indiscriminately.
Their understanding of ecological balance is something we can learn a lot from today, especially with all the environmental challenges we're facing.
It's inspiring to see how all these different elements, food, shelter, spirituality, social structure, art, traditions, and their relationship with nature, all came together to create these unique regional cultures.
And when you look at those regional differences, it really highlights their incredible adaptability, their ingenuity in responding to different environments.
The Northeast, with its longhouses and reliance on fishing and agriculture. The Great Plains, with its nomadic buffalo hunters living in tipis. The Southwest, with its pueblos and dry farming techniques. The Pacific Northwest, with its salmon fisheries and totem poles. Each region tells its own unique story, doesn't it?
It does. It's a testament to human resilience and creativity in the face of diverse challenges.
And understanding this pre-colonial era is so important because their contributions and perspectives continue to resonate today.
They do. The introduction of crops like corn, potatoes, and tomatoes from the Americas transformed global agriculture and diets. And their nature-centered worldview offers valuable lessons for our modern conservation efforts. Their legacy is profound and far-reaching.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the richness and diversity of their lives. They thrived across such diverse landscapes, demonstrating remarkable resourcefulness and a profound connection with their environment.
And as we conclude this deep dive, it begs a question, doesn't it? What can we learn from their values and practices? How can their wisdom inform our own relationship with the natural world and with each other?
That's a powerful thought to leave our listeners with. And if any specific aspect of our discussion sparked your curiosity, whether it's a particular tribe, their art, their spiritual beliefs, I encourage you to delve deeper. There's a wealth of fascinating history and culture waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining us today on the